call seemed simple, loitering on school grounds.
Your first name, sir?
Ryan, B-R-I-A-N.
No big deal.
Just give me 2 seconds and I'll let you all go.
Until an officer ran Brian's name and discovered one small problem.
No, I gotta talk to you, man. I'm sorry.
On parole, Brian and Allen felt
we gotta
little
do the whole
need to
thing.
talk.
Don't do that. Drop the gun!
Last year's shootout with Denver police left Brian dead and left us at 9 News Investigates with questions. When it comes to assigning risk, parole uses a question and point-based answer system. The more points, the more risk. The more risk, the more supervision. Problem is, as we found, the system remains riddled with errors, some easier than others to spot. A year before his death, Allen's risk assessment assigned 1 point to the question, most serious arrest under the age of 18, and 1 point to age first began regularly using alcohol. Months later, scores that shouldn't change, changed, inappropriately lowering his risk score.
And some of us, quite rightly, are pissed about where we are today.
More than a dozen reports later, our investigation has left legislators furious.
That we are, learning about these things from Channel 9 News and people coming to our offices.
At a recent hearing at the state capitol, leaders of Colorado's Department of Corrections faced a series of critical questions centering on how did it get this bad.
I need to hear from you that you are taking full responsibility.
We accept responsibility of what has transpired, unfortunately.
Critically, when DOC did its own internal review following our investigation late last year, it found mistakes on 44 of the 45 parolee risk scores it examined. A stunning 98% error rate. That's not good.
That's not good. That's not good. And we have a duty, we have an obligation to address that.
Newly appointed head of parole, Keto Best, tells 9 News the state will now review the scores of all low-risk parolees, a massive undertaking involving more than 1,700 individual parolee reviews.
We need to make sure, we need to affirm whether they are low risk or whether they're not. If they're not low risk, then we need to adjust our response to supervision accordingly.
It is not a trivial matter. Per state rules, low-risk parolees must meet with their parole officer once every 6 months or twice a year. High risk, once a month or 12 times a year. Low risk, maybe 1 drug test a year. High risk, up to 24.
Fixing parole here is critical to the safety of our state.
State Representative Chad Clifford says, Director Stansel, our reporting has now become impossible for DOC to ignore. Do you think the Department of Corrections was dismissive of our reporting at first?
I believe that they were. Dismissive? I think that's pretty evident.
Is this a scrum or what's going on here? It wasn't that long ago. And the head of DOC was shielded by his own staff in order to keep us from asking questions.
All right, so we are here for the CTAP
Now, the state is retraining all of its parole supervisors on how to score assessments properly. And he is telling us this. Why did it take an investigation by 9 News to figure this out?
There's so many things we're reviewing, and we were hoping that this was one that we could get to eventually.
Andre Stansel added, the parole system here in Colorado wasn't something he was terribly familiar with before he came to the job, because before he came to the job, he actually worked on the federal side where they don't have parole. In fact, he says he didn't really know this was a problem at all until 9 News brought it to his attention. Quote, this wasn't something that immediately jumped out to me, end quote. We're going to keep an eye to make sure that this fix is real. Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.